It's crazy. Well, duh. I need to hit bumps anyway. Sometimes you can't help the bumps you hit. Sometimes, I guess, maybe. They're just like how you couldn't help accidentally curving your rim. Oh yeah, you're out of line for that one. I ain't even gonna lie. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Lit Fam? It's another day in paradise. You know, if you're alive, you're in paradise. Well, I guess not really, considering, you know, heaven's paradise. But another day in the life, you know. If you've seen by the title of this video, we're about to shoot a truck review. Right now, we're actually getting food. Let's show y'all what we got, all right? He is very weird or whatever, but he ended up getting a Coke, and that's it. I, on the other hand, we went to Hardee's. I went and got the 5-piece chicken tender with a large fry and ranch, and a Coke Zero.
So I'm weird because I didn't get zero behind my Coke?
No, because you didn't get anything to eat. That's why he's weird, chat.
Chat is crazy.
Honestly, I've been streaming on TikTok and everything. So for some reason, chat is in my head. I don't know, I gotta get it out of there though. Because every time I talk, it seems to come up, especially when I'm behind a camera. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave that in there, and y'all probably gonna find out funny because he thought that was funny. But yeah, this man's wild though. But yeah, we're about to get to the crib and get into this video. A lot of y'all been waiting on a full in-depth review. And this man with a seatbelt. And why in the world? It is 100 degrees outside in Florida, man. It's insane right now. Like, I don't even know if y'all can see that, but it is literally 100 degrees. And this man is in a doggone hoodie. How is this man in a hoodie?
You knew we were heading nowhere.
Not in 100 degree weather. I'd drop dead if I was in a hoodie. We're gonna get back to the house and get you on this video, alright? We're actually walking out here to the truck now. It's so hot in Florida, like it's ridiculous. And this sun is just beating down. He's helping me out right now. So he's gonna help me out, get this thing unlocked. He done forgot the code, but he ain't no good no way. We're going to pull this out, get some shots of that, pulling it over to the little location that we're gonna shoot the rest of the content at. We wanna be in a little open field, that way we can get some good shots of it and really go in depth about this build.
You went mudding?
No, I ain't going mudding. What you talking about?
Oh, you're tired.
Bro, I live on a dirt road and it be wet, bro. And yes, I do live on a dirt road, so it's not fully pavement princess, I guess.
Like, that is mud.
Yeah, I know it was a little wet, and I probably went the wrong route. I've taken it out a few times, about 3 times. I haven't washed it, so we might do that soon. But it'd be too hot, and I'll be working, and that's what I do. So it'd be too hot. I don't want to wash it every day. So, but I do be washing it every day. We're new to photography, of course, and videography, and YouTube. But this guy just asked me what B-roll was. So let's take him into it, all right? Right here. we're gonna start on the outside here. It's super hot. I always got my rag if I'm in this thing because I've never actually had leather before, of course, because this is my first vehicle. So this is my first time having leather. So you gotta keep this on you because my legs sweat, hairy, I'm a guy, whatever. I sweat bad anyway, to be honest with you, so I keep this. So let's get right into it. This is my 2013 Chevy Silverado, a 1500, stock engine, stock all that. Ugh. All right, so now we're up under the hood. It's basically, you see it, it's stock engine right now. I've got a 370 amp Meckman alternator. We did do 2 new batteries. We got everything wired in here. Super clean. They did a great job. I honestly cannot stress that enough. We do got 488 gears. It is a four-wheel drive. So let's go ahead and get on to what we got in the suspension. Let's get right into our suspension here. We have our Fox coilover shocks here, Diego Resurrected Fab front kicker bars, as well as our rear traction bars. The only thing that wasn't powdered was our lower control arms, and that was because the powder company said that they weren't able to powder them. So I haven't got that done yet, but I definitely need to. Everything up here in the cage has been powdered. All right, so we got everything in the front end. Let's jump on to the rear end. Got a G2 diff cover. We have it chrome plated by Speed Sports Chroming. They get it done in like 15 days. It's crazy, great customer service as well. We have our rear end here powder coated as well as our leaf springs, and then a polished drive shaft up there in 2.0 Fox Resi shocks in the rear. I do want to get those polished as well. Just haven't had time to do it, of course. If you come down, we have 5-inch tips right here as well. Trailer hitch is also powdered as well. So come this way. We have our Diego Resurrected track bars, as well as our Diego Resurrected front kicker bars. Super great people, love them over there. They will be doing a pretty good bit of work here soon. Just haven't had time to drop it off. I'm trying to honestly enjoy it because I haven't had it in a year and a half. Super excited to have it back. I don't want to let go of it yet. We're going to jump into the tire size. So here we have 40-inch 1550 R28 Furies Country Hunter MTs, wrapping a 28 by 16 Forgiato Ventosa T. Love the Forgiato design. I know JTX, I think, KG1, all of them, I think they have a design similar. May change it up in the future, never know, never know. We do have something on order, and I'm not sure what I want to go with that, but we will talk to y'all a little bit about that later. We have in our exhaust, we have a straight pipe. We still have all of our cats and everything like that. It is a 2.5-inch pipe into a 5-inch rolled back tip, I believe is what it's called. It's been so long since I've even messed with it. But yeah, it's a Y pipe, but it straights. Sounds really good, deep little rumble. Doesn't clap or anything like that. I don't like all that. So let's get into basically the paint, basically the body of the truck, get into what's been done to it. There's a lot of stuff, little tiny stuff that's been done. Like I bet you didn't even know just off looking. Like right here, come in. We have spike caps for our valve stem cover. You don't see that because it's not something that's on this side of the wheel, and nobody's gonna get up in there in your wheel and everything like that. But there's little stuff hidden throughout this truck that is a little touch. It's different. It's not what you normally see on a day-to-day vehicle. And keep in mind, I do not drive this truck every day. It sits over there in that garage where you see me pull it out from. About 23, honestly 23.7 to be honest with you. Barely comes out, maybe once every month. So we try and get as much content and as much footage as we can for the viewers, for people who love this truck. I love being, letting this be the inspiration. I'm not capable of this on my own. God has by far blessed me more than I can even imagine. This is never where I dreamed I would have been. This never is where I would have dreamed I would, the platform I would have been given, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, maybe in the future. It's not as big as I want it to be. I plan to grow it. plan to grow that lit fam strong, you know what I mean? Yeah, drop in the comments lit fam and W's in the chat. But yeah, I'm very blessed and I'm very thankful. So yeah, let's get into the body. So coming over here, we do have our rear bumper plastics. They're all paint to match. We have our emblem here, paint to match as well as our tail lights. Did take out my third brake light. With the aftermarket stuff like that doesn't seal very well, and it was causing the cab to have like a leakage problem. So we went ahead and, I know beauty is pain, but I wasn't trying to mess this interior up. So I went ahead and slapped that back in there, and everything's sealed now. Paint to match mirrors here. Everything else is factory. This is actually the factory caps. Factory emblems. We did take the moldings off. It had like a paint to match bottom piece with like a chrome trim piece. These are the factory handles. All that's factory. Have Amber Elite headlights. Got those resealed just because they're bad about leaking, having condensation. So got those resealed. They look beautiful still, and I've had them in there over 2 years now. Paint to match front emblem. I need to get like a chrome one, like a billet one. But this is the factory grill here as well. Factory bottom piece, we did have this repainted. So this is another paint to match piece there. So that's basically everything on the body that I can think of. We did get a little antenna here. It's about 2 inches. It looks better than that long thing you see on stock vehicles. So that's covering just about everything on the outside. If you want to come in over here, and every time you open up the door, there's this little platform that comes out. Beautiful little platform called amp steps. Love them. I needed them bad, like very, very bad. So I've got amp steps here. I needed those because every time I get into this truck, with it having the 12-inch lift that it does, I was wearing down the seat. I was even wearing down the cushion as well. And I didn't want to just put seats in there or like a wrap or leather kit or something like that. Didn't want to just do that. I wanted to kind of go all out, give it a little show bob. And I knew I needed amp steps. I knew I needed steps, period. I didn't really like how steps look, but I like amp steps because they retract. You know, they're not there when you're not using them. Looks sweet, works super great. So let's go ahead and get onto this interior. 07 to 13, I believe all of the models, but I know for sure like 2010 to 13, they do the suicide door, so the door actually opens all the way like this. Everything's been touched. I mean, from even having a handle on the rear door to the centerpiece, if you want to come in a little bit. I mean, there's not even a full bench in there. The new headliner, if you'll touch this piece here, with a little bit of lens. This here is also wrapped in suede. Panels here are also wrapped in leather all the way up, as well as like this piece, this plastic piece. The back's been done, backs of the seats. We didn't have any headrest on there as well. We did a new steering wheel. We did the 4G Auto steering wheel. Love how that turned out. It's definitely different to drive with. So kind of moving along, these are actually off of a Cadillac door front panel. With this being an extended cab, we had to fabricate this into the process because it's got to go over this little area here. So we couldn't just use the full door panel. We had to cut from here off of my previous door panels, off of the actual stock ones. We had to cut that off, use that, and fiberglass it into the actual door panel. So that actually turned out really well. I'm super pleased with that. I'm super pleased with everything, to be honest with you, especially when we get into this interior. Steven's got great customer service. Every question I had, he answered with even more than what I needed him to. Super great, good, easy to get along with. Jumping in, we've got all of our pillars, everything like that. It's all wrapped in suede from the pillars up. Besides these pillars that we just showed you, we've got full center console with 3 10s in it, and all the audio is mats as well as the amps. 2 4,000 watt amps. We've got one on each side. They're actually up under these seats. There's one here and then one on the other side. The Starlight kit, we've got the box for that with the lights in it. On the other side, we'll show y'all that. So over here we've got these pieces here have all been repainted or painted. They weren't painted, but they have been repainted. All this is all leather. We've got the little stitching, the little cream stitching here, as well as the cream seats, cream everything. I really wanted to do full cream interior. When I got into it, the carpet, the suede, all of that was all different cream colors. I'm very picky. I wanted everything to match down like perfect in color. So this is what we ended up with. We wanted more of a classier look, so we went with black with a little bit of cream. Louis Vuitton cream is what I wanted, and it went crazy. I'm so impressed with how it turned out. 3 tins, Matt's audio in the center console. They're called Monster tins. In the center console, firing down. Also, if you jump in here, let me hold that. We also did a big F for 4G auto there, as well as cup holders in the rear and in the front. We also have a little pad to sit your phone, wallet, anything like that, or concealed carry. That'll be there. We've got a few buttons here as well for starlight, rock lights. I did mention we did have 32 rock lights, so those are all wired to one switch right here, as well as starlights. And there's some lights up under this center console box as well. And then moving back down a little bit, let's go on the other side, and we're getting into kind of what these doors are looking like, what we have in each of them, and get a more in-depth view. Moving on to the other side, we've got basically in each door, the rear doors, I came to this side so I could take my glasses off and kind of get more interactive. So basically on the rear doors, we have 2 8s. Both of them have tweeters in them, and then we have a 1 1/4 inch tweeter here, as well as on the top, everything is wrapped in leather as far as the pillars on both sides. We painted this cream here. We deleted the door handle, as I had said earlier, and then painted this piece here. And then they did a phenomenal job on these doors. And then if you want to come up to the front door, we've got a painted piece here. They curved it, they rounded it, looks super sharp. Painted this as well as this. And then if you come over here, we've got a 10, we've got a tweeter, and then 2 8s in both front door panels. And then if you come up in here, we've got everything's wrapped. So this is leather, leather, leather. Everything's leather, literally. They've wrapped all the dash. And before you go and think that you can just get him to wrap a leather dash, this dash was not cracked. All of that was basically wrapped. He did some perforated holes for your defroster and all that. So he did some holes up there. We did a, this is a 9-inch screen, I believe. They do Pioneer does a 9-inch and a 10-inch. I believe this is the 9-inch screen. I can drop the code for it in the description. I had to buy a new panel for the AC panel because obviously your 07 to 13 Silverado people, y'all know what I'm talking about. But these buttons here rub off very easy. I was able to find somewhere where they make them, they refurbish them. So this still works like a factory one. It's actually a factory one. Just the buttons were brand new, and then all the mechanics still work flawlessly. This here was silver. We repainted this. This was dyed, I believe. Painted this. Painted the little instrument panel up in there, as well as left the chrome pieces from factory. Then we got the cream stitching around the top of the speedometer area. And then we wrapped this, your visors, we've wrapped those in suede, as well as each panel here. We put LEDs all throughout the interior. That way it gives it a little bit more brightness. And then if you're in the nighttime, it shines it up very, very bright. So don't have to worry about not being able to see, that's for sure, because it'll blind you if you ain't careful. And then as I mentioned, we've got our 4G Auto steering wheel. 4G Auto actually made this for me. I went through Coast to Coast Customs here in Jacksonville. They do a lot of dealings with 4G Auto, so it worked out very good. They had it to me. I think it took 3 months to come in, but that is honestly the first piece that I started with this whole interior process. I believe that's about it, to be honest with you. There's a lot of little cosmetic stuff that we had to do to make everything possible, make everything fit. I don't even know if I mentioned it, but we did do brand new carpet. All that was redone. A few little panels, plastic panels that we renewed, just because the clamps might have been broke or something like that, just from picking it up and putting it down. But other than that, everything's just about new or it's been touched in some way. Two things actually that hasn't been touched at all are the seat belts. I haven't got to that, and the seat belt buckle holder, whatever you're gonna call it. Those are the only things that haven't been touched. Other than that, everything else has been touched. So a lot of y'all don't think you can really sit back here comfortably. Honestly, I'm pretty comfortable with the door shut. Maybe not. I wouldn't want to go on a long car ride in this truck, but honestly, we wouldn't be going in a car ride at all. I don't take this truck out like that. But I've had a lot of questions about this back seat, what I had to do to get it like this, where did I get the captain chairs from, all kinds of different questions. And to be honest with you, this is the factory bench seat. We cut it in half, fabricated it, welded it, sanded it, and all that good stuff to fit on the actual factory bars, bolts, whatever you want to call it, that the seat actually provides. So we didn't cut anything from the cab, if you will. We left everything that way. If I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I would be able to put a bench seat back here and put it back factory. So we really didn't pull it out of anywhere. It was the factory one. We cut it in half and made it look exactly like the single seat that was previously in here. I had this idea honestly from a guy in California. He's in that Team Billet Club, and I really wanted to do it and do it to my liking. Super clean, classy. I didn't want a bunch of wires everywhere. I didn't want all this stuff like half done. I wanted it done right, and I didn't want to mess with it again, to be honest with you. And that's why I've never touched anything on my interior, because I wanted it done right. I wanted it all done, and I didn't want to mess with it again. I don't like interior stuff. One wire goes wrong and you don't have hardly anything. So if one wire is going wrong or touching the wrong thing, this thing could be in flames like that as well. So yeah, so that's just about it. We're about to conclude this. So that'll conclude this YouTube video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I enjoyed doing it. Super hot, but it'll be worth it. Give y'all a little bit more insight on what's actually hands-on done to this thing. I didn't do all the work myself. Did pay people to do different things, like so as the lift. I paid somebody for the interior, but it was all my vision, how I wanted this truck to look. No, I didn't go get a render. I didn't feel like I needed to pay that much money. I felt like I had already had something and I wanted to run with it. So I went ahead and just done the thing, and I'd say it turned out pretty well. I love it, and that's really all that matters. I really enjoy this hobby. No, I'm not building this truck for anybody else or any social media, but it does help. Y'all do love this as much as I do, so I love to show y'all basically what it's about. Kind of a little bit of what it takes to get here. It does not happen overnight, just like anything worth having does not come overnight for sure. What I plan to do with this truck, I want to get it painted. This is the factory paint. Few imperfections over time, you know. New motor, new transmission, of course, to hold the motor power, and that's about it. I want to do the frame as well, and then go through and do some chroming. But that'll be down the line. I want to hold the truck a little while because I haven't had it in a long time, and I missed it a lot. I've been putting a lot of miles on it. This is my 2013 Chevy Silverado Donk truck. Alright, Live fans, that'll conclude this video. I appreciate it. I hope it was a banger, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in, and we're out. Peace, Live fam.